Okay, today is basically about this, in the sense that, here's one example, write this down. Multiply 25 times 0.04, and the book says to simplify. Simplify. If we multiply 25 times 0.04, what do we actually end up with here? What do you get? This is 100, and you multiply, move the decimal 2 places, you end up with 1.00. And basically what the book is saying is this, okay? Usually after decimals, write this down, after decimals, ending zeros are not needed. Now, if we were talking money, this would be needed here. But rather than writing this as 1.00, okay, because we're not talking money at this point, there's no dollar signs there, we would simply write this just as the number 1, because those 2 zeros at the end do not matter. Same thing if you see something like this, 0.30. If we're going to write that in its simplest form, we're just going to write it as 0.3. And that's really the whole gist of what they're trying to get at here. In addition to that, they will say to compare, get this thing to work, they will say to compare the first thing I do if I see this is 0.3 compared to 0.303. If this problem comes up on your paper, what do you suppose the first thing you do is, Ryan? Sir? Thank you very much. You write that on your paper. Now, here's the question. You're supposed to tell which is bigger. Is 0.3 bigger or is 0.303 bigger? Big question mark. Lutz, what do you think? Now, based on the hesitation from Alexa, okay, it might be a little confusing here, but also know, just like before when we took off some zeros that weren't needed, if you need some zeros to compare or add to, you'd put them there. So I would suggest that because this has 3 digits after the decimal, I would add 2 zeros to make this have 3 digits after the 0, because then you can compare it like, what's bigger, 300 or 303? Because now they're written in the same form, and 303 is bigger. Okay? So if you need to, tell her, can I, in 3 or 4 minutes? Yep, I'll be there in a sec. Okay? Or another example would be this. What's bigger? 0.39 or, maybe I wrote that wrong. I'm sorry, 0.31 compared to 0.039. Okay? And again, it might be a little confusing there, but I would do this. How many digits come after the decimal there? 3. So I want to put another 0 over here. And then you look at it as what's bigger, 310 or 39? In which case the 310. Okay, so put as many zeros as you need to so that you get the same number after the decimal, and then look at them. Let me give you one to try here. How about this one? 0.4 compared to 0.40. Which one is larger? Michael?
They're equal.
They are equal. Very good. Why do I know that? Because if I add a 0 to this, so there's 2 after the decimal, they're the exact same thing. Everybody kind of catch on to that? How about this one? 12.5 or 1.25? What's bigger? 12.5 or 1.25? Jacob Kunzendorf,
12.5.
how do you know?
Because, well, 12 is a whole number.
Okay, you don't sometimes even have to look at the decimal, look at the number. If you look at this, this has a 1 and this is a 12, and no matter what comes after it, 12 will always be bigger than 1, even if you add to that 0 over there. So look at the whole numbers first, and then you look at the decimals if the whole numbers are the same. 0.2 or 0.15? Which one's bigger, 0.2 or 0.15? Great.
0.2.
Okay, 0.2, because that's 20 in there. Okay, 15. And that's pretty much it. Again, they will ask you to simplify. If you see this, 0.500, and they ask you to simplify that, what would you write that as? Calvin?
25.
Yeah, well, 0.5 is fine. A lot of times we keep that between 0 just so we see it there. The book probably will, anyway, so. Perfect. Children, your assignment